A coup is more than just a political upheaval. It's a profound challenge to democracy. Myanmar has faced 3 major coups, each shaping the nation's struggle for freedom in unique ways. In this series, we'll unravel the history of these coups, starting with the Mother Coup of 1962. Discover the legacy of military power, the role of propaganda, and the unyielding fight for democracy in Myanmar. To understand the success of these military coups, we need to examine the roots of military power in Myanmar. The Tatmadaw, Myanmar's military, has long positioned itself as the ultimate protector of the nation, using this narrative to justify its actions and maintain control over the country. In 1962, General Ne Win led the first military coup, overthrowing Myanmar's democratically elected government. Surprisingly, there was minimal resistance. The military promised socialism, which garnered some support from political factions despite the clear violation of democratic principles. The role of propaganda. After the 1962 coup, the military employed extensive propaganda to solidify its power. State-controlled media portrayed the military as the sole institution capable of preserving national unity and stability. This propaganda effectively convinced many that the military's rule was necessary, further suppressing potential resistance. The impact on ethnic minorities. The 1962 coup also had a profound impact on Myanmar's ethnic minorities. The military used the coup as a pretext to increase control over ethnic regions, leading to decades of conflict and oppression. This deepened the divide between the central government and ethnic minority groups, a rift that persists today. Living under a military dictatorship creates a unique psychological environment. Widespread fear and suspicion make collective action against the regime more challenging. This psychological barrier contributed to the minimal resistance to the 1962 coup, despite its undemocratic nature. Ne Win's rule left a lasting legacy in Myanmar. His policies of isolationism and economic mismanagement plunged the country into poverty and stagnation. Despite this, the military's grip on power remained largely unchallenged for decades, setting the stage for future coups and conflicts. Exile and continued dissent. Despite severe persecution, dissent persisted. Hundreds were imprisoned, and many fled Myanmar, seeking refuge in neighboring countries like Thailand. This marked the beginning of a prolonged struggle against military rule. The limited scale of protests. Protests continued throughout the 1970s, but remained localized and did not reach the scale of a nationwide uprising. These early protests were relatively limited in scope compared to the mass movements that emerged in 1988 and 2021. The global context. It's important to consider the global context of the 1962 coup. During the Cold War, many governments prioritized containing communism over promoting democracy. This international climate allowed military regimes like Ne Win's to operate with minimal external pressure for reform. The Mother Coup of 1962 was more than just the first military takeover in Myanmar. It set a precedent for military rule that would persist for decades. Its legacy serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked military power and the enduring resilience of those who continue to fight for democracy. While all 3 coups aimed to maintain military control, the resistance levels differed significantly. The 1962 coup faced minimal opposition, while the 1988 and 2021 coups ignited widespread uprisings and revolutions. Want to stay updated on more stories like this? Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications.